Okay, I will wait for someone to move for us to start, or call it to order, sorry. Brain's not working today yet. Go ahead and call the meeting to order. We have to second that one, Karen, is that right?
I don't think so, just call it order.
Didn't think so, okay. Karen, do you want to do roll call?
Sure, roll call. Neva.
I'm here.
Karen is here. Alexander.
Here.
Cassandra. Not here. Conley.
Here.
Debbie.
Here.
Cheryl. No. Kristen.
Here.
And Cheryl and Cassie both had told me they were going to be out today as well, so we're good there. Awesome. Okay, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
A motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you, Alexander.
Seconded?
You seconded.
Conley?
Conley.
Conley, did you get yours cut?
I did.
Nice.
Identity crisis.
It's fine.
Happens every once in a while.
Did you make things?
I did.
All right. That's on old business. Awesome. So we have old business on here. Right now is the playground design next steps. Basically, some of the stuff that we were covering was what we were needing to do next with Play by Design in order to start moving forward to process it the way that we're supposed to. And I know Karen had kind of talked to Matt and I a little bit about it, and I talked to Matt about it as well to kind of see what we need to do to make sure with the recommendation that we're making to the council is all done, and then what we need to do, what information we have to get from Play by Design to make sure we're staying within.
But what we've discussed.
Yeah, you missed the whole thing.
Okay,
Neva.
okay. Yeah,
You
tell
missed
me.
the drama.
Tell me!
Sucks for you.
No, it's fine. Somebody give me clip notes.
Well, according to the bylaws, we are supposed to present 3 bids to the city council. We can then tell them that this is our preferred bid.
Mhm.
So we have this one, we can use Kristen's, and then we can use the original one that
Right.
they gave us.
Mhm.
But we need to give 3 bids, that's what is
Standard.
standard.
Right. Which Matt already has, those other bids.
Does he have hers?
Yeah.
Kristen's?
Yeah, she sent it
So-
all to him. He has everything already.
So that will be submitted to the city council with 3 bids?
Yeah, he's got all of that, and then he even has the extra ones that like Conley had before with the other people as well.
We didn't know that.
Yeah, because we had when they sent everything in, they sent it to Matt beforehand. So making sure that we had all of that information as
So
well.
as long as 3 are presented to the city council, then everything is transparent and above board.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's kind of also falls under some of the purchasing stuff under the city as well. So I was looking through some of that too to kind of make sure I had a good idea.
What do you mean by that?
Just in general, how when the city purchases stuff, historically what they've had to do and things like that. So I kind of just went back and tried to look at when they bought stuff and what the process for all that was. And asked Matt. I did also, Cassie is setting up a meeting to talk about that. Cassie's going to set up a meeting with Play by Design with myself and Matt and Karen, and them to look over all the technical information so we can get everything we need to present it to the attorney and everything as well. So what their contract looks like, all that before we move too far forward, so we can make sure that we're good on that end as well.
But that doesn't involve the design.
No, doesn't involve the actual design that they're saying. No, it's us talking to this company to get all of their information.
Okay, and then after we gather that, then we still have to get approved from the city council, we paying for them to come here.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I talked to Matt about it last week, that's what we had discussed, is make sure we talk to them first, we got all the information we need from them first, so we can present that to the attorney, so he can go through everything with the contract and all of that, to make sure we're where we're supposed to be. And once we have all that information, that would be the request to put in for them to come down, for the city council to pay for them to come down.
Right, but at that time, then that would be the city council also approving this company.
But yeah, once they bought everything else taken care of, yes.
Okay, well, I just wanna make sure that we're moving in the right steps.
Yes, and I keep asking too, because like I said, I don't know 100% every single time how this works too, so I'm leaning on Matt and Karen and everybody else to kind of direct me.
Well, and I just
Since
wanna
they
make
do
sure
this
that we're
one.
doing everything above board, that we're not
Yeah.
looking like we're sliding things under the.
No.
Did we look untrustworthy?
Yes.
Well, and that's the thing, like I said, I mean, I don't know as much, so I've been trying to do a lot more research on it myself too, and then asking a lot of questions, just to make sure we're all kind of in the right space as well. So we wanna make sure that we've got it so that we can move forward when we're given the approval to move forward, if that makes sense. as
So
well.
after all those steps, the attorneys approved it, then our next step would then start designing it.
Our next step would be to bring to, and once it's approved by the city council, then we
Correct.
can actually have them come down. We're supposed to be getting like dates, all that kind of stuff, when they'd be available, so we have all the information that we can to give to city council.
Now, at that
moving
point,
forward.
will the board be involved in talking with the design, or will it just be the people?
No, I think when they come down, as far as the other stuff, we're not making any concepts, anything. All we're really doing is like making travel plans and getting contract stuff from them. So we're not gonna approve anything as far as like cost, any of that kind of stuff without actually having that discussion here. The only things that we're talking about with Play by Design is to make sure that we can ask any questions, that the city needs answered beforehand, so that we have all the information for that, have the contract, understand, like what their time frame is and all that stuff, and get all the liability information and everything we need to give, so we can say, here's city council, here's what we want, here's what they need to move forward, and then let them.
Or is it like a
decide.
down payment or something?
Yeah, so we have a good idea for all those things before we move too far into it and sign anything with them. We wanna have all the information.
No,
before we-
correct, but I just wanted to make sure that the whole board was involved with kind of our suggestions or, tweaking it.
Yeah.
Tell me tweaking what?
Neva, has anyone actually spoke to
Yes.
so more than one person
Spoke to.
What do you mean?
with Play by Design?
No, that's what we're saying, that's the point of the meeting that Matt and Karen and I are
Yeah,
gonna have.
but did Cassie speak to someone with?
Yeah.
Okay.
She has a contact who spoke with her multiple times, and she actually just had a phone call with them on Friday and spoke to them again so that we could get the information, had the Zoom, so we could all have that conversation in person, so we wouldn't have to keep going back and forth and.
So we're gonna do a
Everybody.
Zoom meeting?
No, Matt, Karen and I,
Oh.
and Cassie are gonna do that, cause it's her contact, she's gonna introduce us, so that we can get all the technical information from them that we need to present to the city council when we put the recommendation in. So,
So when you say technical information, what are you talking about?
all the things that are already listed. So, again, we're gonna get from them their contract, right, cause we need somebody to be able to go over their contract. We're gonna get some, whatever their estimate on the pricing is for them to come down, what all that specifically means, right? They asked us to go over, the piece of paper that, is in here as well, so when you kinda go through some of this, what they had put in was a list of things they wanted us to be familiar with, so like what the process was, which is what Cassie kinda already
Yeah,
told us.
no, I just meant, I was thinking about if anyone's like verified and confirmed, not some kids in Bangladesh or something like it's AI,
Well, no, this company is the one that built the castle in Augusta, the castle park in Augusta. Like these are,
okay.
and that's kind of Cassie had talked about that when she presented it too. They built quite a few. They built Island Park in Winfield as well, a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, she had a person that she physically spoke with before she presented as well. I actually went through afterwards and I've looked up a few other places too, so I wanted to kind of understand what their process was, what an actual build looked like since it's a community build. And I looked up 2 or 3 that just recently happened in the last year that got completed to kind of see also what their fundraising things looked like. How did they advertise for help? What did the time frame for the build look like? All that kind of stuff. So I had a good idea as well. And so everything that I'm looking at, as far as what I've done, looking online at Facebook in different cities across the United States that they've worked with, it's everything very similar to what they have said with getting things done. And then Cassie even spoke with the lady who was in charge of the Augusta one, specifically about how that process went too, so we have a good idea there and can ask them like, what pitfalls did you have? So once we're at that actual point, that's when we'll kind of bring it back in here. All we're doing now when we're having that meeting with them is getting specific information from them that we can give to the city council. So all of the contracts, all of how we pay them, what that looks like, what the payment plan would look like, estimated cost, all that. We're not making any suggestions to them. We're not asking for any design information. It's all just logistic information that we can gather.
Legalities.
Yes, so that we can present it to who we need to present it to. So all of that can be looked at and make sure it's okay. Because I don't want to take it to city council and then have our attorney come back and go, oh, we can't do this, and this. So I want them to have a chance to look at it first and be like, great, these are all great. So if we need to go back to them and say, hey, these things in the contract we don't want to do or we don't agree with, we can send it back and have that fixed before we go in. Since they already are aware that that's who we want to move forward with. Does that make more sense? Tell me what you're worried about. I need more words. No, you're fine. What is it? You obviously have something that you're worried about. What is it that you're worried about?
We can't say that we made a decision.
Why? We all voted and made a decision. I'm confused why we couldn't say that.
You made a recommendation.
A recommendation, sorry.
You voted on making a recommendation to the
We
city.
made a decision on who we were going to recommend to the city. Let me be more specific about my wording there. We made a decision on who we were going to recommend to the
But
city.
there's still gonna be all three options presented
Yes.
to the city council.
All options will be presented, this is just our recommendation.
Of the three options, this is who we think would be the best to move forward.
That is our recommendation to them who we would like to move forward with.
Does that answer any of your questions?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I'm just trying to figure out what it is, because you obviously have a concern, so I would like to figure that out.
Oh,
so
no,
make
I
sure
just,
we're-
no, I would just, I feel like we all should be concerned, with how we word things, cause I feel like it gets confused.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna be very clear about this specifically, that if people are concerned, instead of having conversations and messages and other things like that that are happening, if we have a concern, then my recommendation is gonna be that to come straight out and say the concern with everybody, because what I don't ever want to have happen is to have information kind of moving around and everybody getting parts of information or getting fed information from somebody else, or only getting part of a story over here or part of a story over there, or me only kind of getting kind of a question asked but not actually asked. I would rather us be as transparent as we can be,
Absolutely.
so that we can straight up say, this is what we're trying to do. So when I do things and I say, like when I send out an email and I say, hey, can you please send me any, things that you want to cover in the agenda, that is the time to say, hey, I have a question about this. Like, can we put this in the agenda? So then we can specifically put it in. I can do some research on it. I can gather, or I can try to find out if there's somebody who has a better chance of answering that question than I will. Because I don't know all the ins and outs for the city council, but I want to give you an accurate answer more than anything. But what I don't want is you to feel like we're not doing things above board and that. I never want you to feel unsure about that because, right, you sit on this board, we want you to feel confident in it. I just don't want it to be where there's like 8 different stories that are going around as opposed to let us all just have an open adult conversation about it and be done with it. And that way everybody's on the exact same level as opposed to not sure, because I don't like feeling unsure.
Well, I just felt like when we first were discussing this before you were here, it was
Mhm.
like, this is what we're doing, no ifs, ands, or buts, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, again, we're still just an advisory board, so I mean, that's what when we say this is what we're doing, all I am saying at this moment is that when we all took a vote, we all said this is what we want to do, and what
This is
we
our
want to, this is
recommendation.
what we want to, that's what I'm saying. What we want to do, what we want to recommend moving forward is this. Here's the other information that we have, and here's this recommendation for that, right? I don't think that's us at all, and I don't think that the city council would take it that way of us saying you have to go with this group. I think we have a good enough city council that they will have discussions about it, as I've heard them have before, and move through that as they can. And we also know that people will hold us accountable if we're not doing something right, and we will do our best to make sure that we are. But again, when you have those specific concerns, like, come out and say something so that I can actually do something about it. Because if all that happens is there's a conversation with this person or a conversation with that person, I can't actually, I can't do anything about it, and I'd rather be able just to give you a good answer, an informed and honest answer, more than anything else, because, I mean, I have people asking
City
stuff
council can
too.
always go against what we recommend.
1000%. They could look at this and go, no, we'd rather go with,
Right.
what you had before, which that's totally fine, that's up to them. We're just
And
giving an
sometimes that's a
opinion.
good thing, because remember when the city planner said that a liquor store was a good idea across the
That's
street
right.
from my house? Remember that?
Yes.
It's like, thank you, city council, for not going with what the city planner said.
Conley's got more bottles buried in her backyard than.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
But that would be, so that's kind of what that me asking you for things that you need to put on the agenda. When you have those questions, please tell me, because that way I can put it on here. When it pops up, then usually what happens is I put it on the agenda. Matt and I talk about what each one is. If I have a question about something too, I straight up ask him. I know there's concerns about lots of things that keep happening. Like you and I kind of had a discussion about like Thomas being here and stuff like that. I have a conversation I'm having with Thomas tomorrow, person to person, because I want to have that conversation and say, look, us moving forward, here's the concern. I want to make sure I hear from your mouth, nobody else, because here's the thing. If you ever know anything about me, I don't take anybody's anybody unless I've had that personal experience myself. I don't care. So I want to have that conversation with him and say, tell me how involved you want to be. How do you want us to best do all this with you? I did let Matt know that I was going to have that conversation because I felt like that was a respectful choice to make since that is his supervisor. And then I emailed Thomas and let him know, and then he and I are going to have a discussion tomorrow. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go around stuff that we've already discussed, and I'm not going to like do all of that. I'm going to do it all above board in front of you all and let you know that this is what's happening, right? Because I want you to feel confident in everything
Well,
that
I
you're doing.
expressed to you how
Yeah.
important I thought it was
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Thomas be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I even what I asked was, have you talked to Thomas? And that's what he said, that I'm feeling left out or I'm not getting information, and we don't have a definite answer about that. So that's what my purpose was, to have that conversation with him, right? Because I want to hear it, and if he does, then he can be comfortable to say that to me, and then I can let Matt and I can have a discussion about it and say this is what he would like us to do going forward. What I also don't want to do is for us to assume that he wants to be somewhere he doesn't. I don't want it to go either way, where I assume he doesn't want to be here when he does, or he does want to be here and he doesn't. I just want him to be able to tell me, and he's a grown man, so I'm certain he'll be able to do that. In my other interactions with him, I've never felt he was shy about saying what he needed. So I'm certain that will be something I'll have a better answer for as well. I'm just wanting to kind of make sure that I understand when we're going to volunteer day and stuff like that, what that looks like as well, and from him, what his expectations of us are. I just like to have that information as one-to-one as I can, right? No, not have to hear about hearsay and somebody said this or they said that or whatever. But yeah, sorry, that's my whole side tangent. But does that make sense? Like as far as other stuff, so please like ask me so that I can do that. I'm never one that's just gonna give you an answer, especially if I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you I don't know, and then I'll find it out for you.
My bad.
It's not your bad.
I'm
You're
not
absolutely able
gonna
to do
not
that.
have a tick when a word like
Yeah.
I'm like
No, and that's
that's an iffy word.
no,
you
and
know.
that's part of it. Like we have to have specific conversations about that, and I have no problem having that
Same.
at all ever. So I just want us to make sure we're all kind of on the same page with that. Are we okay with having getting that information? And then once we have it, I don't think there's any problem with us sending it out to the board, right? How we would anyway, where we blind copy everybody, you can review it, look it over that way. If you have a question, you can send it back to us the appropriate way and
You're
ask
talking
that.
about the legal information?
Yeah, I don't know that I'll have a specific answer for you right away, but I will share as much information as we get with you all. I'm not one to gatekeep anything because I'd rather have you have eyes on it in case I miss something.
So this Thursday at the meeting, this probably won't even be discussed because you
I
want
can't say yes or no on that. I don't have any idea until we have this conversation with Play by Design.
And when are you doing that?
We're trying to get it done as quick as we can. We are having a hard time scheduling right now because everybody's a billion.
So probably not by Thursday.
I can't say yes or no because we were going to try to do it today, and the next thing is try to do it tomorrow. So I don't have a definite answer. I don't want to say no, it's not going to happen by Thursday. I don't want to say yes, it is going to happen by Thursday until I have a good idea, one way or the other. Because it is just a quick Zoom meeting to go over all of it.
My only question is, do we have plans on, or do you have any plans on making any legal stuff with any of the other potential contract?
I think we have it from the one. Are you talking about like whether or not we see?
Yeah,
I think
like
that-
if you're gonna have any discussions that we're having with Play Design with the other.
I don't have a plan to, but most of their stuff is actually online and able to be downloaded. So like with your company, they actually have a copy of their contract is on their website. Play by Design doesn't have anything that's on there too. I also wanted to give specifics about the recommendation that we're making,
Of course.
and so I want to have a good idea from them about more specific idea about timeline, what it looks like when they come down, the exact cost for all of that, so that when I do present it, that's part of it, because we know that group would not, I can't think of the name of them now, I apologize, doesn't need to do any of those preliminary things in order to move forward with them either.
Sounds good,
So
yeah.
I think we've got as much of it, but if there's something that anybody feels like we're lacking, so when Karen and Gazelle have a good idea too, then we can always try to get some of that information too, at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's all.
Will you be presenting at the board?
I can.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah, that was my plan. I'm trying right now. My wife has a new job and it's a little different in schedule than it used to be, so we're navigating life right now. Okay, so does that cover at least what the A is on old business? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. For new business, volunteer day, and I apologize because I had said the 20th, and that was 1000% on me because my kids' birthday party's on the 20th, and actually volunteer day is on the 27th. I went back on our minutes to make sure. Because I was like, there's no way I would have put those at the same time. So I did correct it in the stuff that I sent out and everything as well.
And it's on Facebook,
Yes.
and are we gonna advertise any other way?
Yes, I had asked Matt to check and see if they would just send out an email from the city with the info in it.
Do you think there's any like realtor type signs that we could just put
Mhm.
at the park that say
Volunteer Day's coming.
volunteer day?
Yeah, like we did the,
Kinda like they do with the Kechi citywide garage sale, you know?
and like we did with the construction.
But I think that that might be helpful,
Yeah.
cause whoever's over there working or walking or in the park, they would.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Facelift coming soon.
Yeah, with your
Come be
help.
part of the hope.
Well,
What
yeah,
time is
the
it?
advertised workday.
Yeah.
And,
What
I don't know if they can put it on the.
Eight.
It is 8 to
Okay.
11 again.
But you don't have to come from.
No, 8 to 11. No. Not
I don't know
at
if they
all.
could put it on the marquee or put it in the,
Oh, yeah.
on the water bill. I always read my water bill.
I think the water bill would have already gone out, right?
Yep.
Cause it's due the 10th. Cause the next one will go out for
Yeah,
October.
it's too late now, sorry.
Yeah, I asked the same thing and then I got it's already out. The same with the paper, but I'll have a good idea now about, I've been putting stuff in I work really well with the Eisenhower timelines. It gives me a good idea of where I'm at with stuff and this has helped me keep track better, for times and stuff. So I'll ask him about those too. Cassie is wanting to make shirts for that, just for us for park board. So when we are out and about doing things for park board, people can see us and know. So if you haven't sent her your size, I don't want you to please advertise it to me because I don't want that information. I want you to feel like I need that. So if you'll just respond to her and send her your size, your preferred size, it's a unisex shirt because we're just gonna order on Amazon and she's kindly going to make them with her Cricut. And it's just gonna have like the Kechi city logo on it, and then the back's just got a picture, like a black and white, or something like an outline of a park. It's just gonna say park board or whatever.
I think I should ask, so messages are happening, that means, so I don't respond to I thought we were not supposed to talk.
You
Like-
can respond back without responding to everybody.
Like only one person.
One person.
Just to
I don't know, these messages.
Or
No.
just to have.
It's not a message, it's an email. It was an email that she had asked if she could make shirts, and I sent that to Matt, and he had let her know that she could.
Okay, so there's
And
not
she had sent an-
messages
she
that
had
are
sent an
happening that I
email.
don't- that I'm
No,
not-
no. She sent an email out about needing shirt sizes, and then she sent one specifically to me today saying that she needed shirt sizes from these 3 or 4 people. So just ask her.
I don't think I did either, but that's okay.
I
It should
almost
be because you
missed
guys.
it.
She blind copied everybody on it, as what she had told me, but I got it and it just came to me.
I got
So
mine.
yeah, I
I got
got
mine.
Was
one.
it today or,
No, it was
That's a little bit
a few
ago.
days ago.
Thursday, Friday.
and who will it be from? Cassie?
It'd be from Cassie. I think it just said.
Cassandra?
I think it says Cassandra on it. Sorry, it says Dickinson. Cassandra Dickinson. She sent that on Friday. I got mine Friday.
Yep.
At like 3 o'clock, almost 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, just don't forget when you respond, right? You just only respond to that one person, right? Yeah. Sorry, it feels like there's a lot. There's not. The only other conversation I got was just like if somebody's not gonna be here, so like Cheryl had messaged me directly to say. So that's just not something that's good to everybody. Yeah. So we got approval on that end as well.
What exactly do we do on the volunteer days?
So we have a list that Thomas puts together of stuff for us to do, as well as just general like going around cleaning, picking weeds, stuff like that. So trash pickup. We were weeding the actual berm. And go through it, and we can even make a list of things that need to be repaired, or if there's something small on there. So we asked a week or so ago of Thomas to start making a list for us that he feels comfortable
Had 10
with us
socks
doing.
that she found.
Yeah, 10 socks.
Just one
During the
sock.
summer,
Just one sock.
my children will never come home with socks.
Sunglasses, hats. I
Yes.
see it all. Bicycles, shirts, sweaters, coats. boots.
Nicotine patches.
All I mean, from juice bottles, empty juice bottles, water bottles, people's stuffed animals that are lost forever. Usually I stick those up like in the wrappers around them too. So he gets a list of things to do. We just have that ready to go. Some people come in, whatever time they come in, and say, hey, you can do this, you can do that. Last time did he supply some stuff? No, okay. I'll double check with him about that tomorrow too.
I don't even think, I think Cassie just used like the Walmart Walmart, she brought some Walmart bags.
Smaller bags.
Mhm.
I'll just make sure
Started
we've got,
filling those.
I'll make sure we've got supplies. Which I'm sure he'll be able to get us some gloves and things like that too. Does that answer your question? Okay. Yes, absolutely. Kind of one of the reasons I think when we talked about why we're wanting to do this is that we're again trying to get that buy-in, right? The people are in the park, you're in it, you're taking care of it, you're more likely to take care of it on a regular basis. But again, that was something that was in that survey that they really want us to start being present back in there again and actively having the community be involved in the care of those shared spaces. So that the more that they're in it, the more they understand what's going on in the parks when we are trying to address things that they've been part of that conversation the whole time. And if we're trying to do that, quarterly, every 3 months or so, to just get kind of people in there. Plus then, if we happen to go with Play by Design, that is their basis is all voluntary. So we want to, just in general, whoever we go with, we want the community to be part of that as much as we can so that, again, we have that buy-in, that care, and all of that. I did have asked a couple of restaurants just around that I know that give like free
Gift cards.
ice cream
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever stuff. I'm gonna go try to do some local ones this weekend, but if anybody specifically knows any of the shops that are here, I don't know in person any of the people, but the thought process was to say, you come and volunteer with us, we'll put your name in for a fun
drawing.
giveaway or a drawing. You just sometimes that just gets people there, right, in the beginning, whether it's I'm gonna give you some City of Kechi swag, I don't know, I was teasing that, we needed like koozies or something. Or like your own rake with your name on it. I don't know. You never know. Would burn it in there just for you. But something else to kind of motivate people to come out and have fun. I've got some. What'd you say?
Coffee camper.
A coffee camper.
Yeah,
Yes.
those are all over
Don't
the
know
place
the
now.
coffee camper aren't in the budget. I know. My kiddos are excited. We've got like some juices and stuff that we're gonna like make a big thing. Just some stuff to provide some refreshments that are fun just from us. And things like that. So, again, just not making it about where the city's doing something, but we're doing it as the community as well to really get people involved and excited about being part of our park again. Because as we know, just from the fair group and everything else, right, it's hard to get community involvement. So, bribing people is the best way most of the time.
Well, I think if we put some signs out, that
Yeah.
will,
Yeah, because not everybody's on Facebook. I don't
or
look at
maybe
Facebook.
I
and
miss a lot of them, like, well, when was that up?
What was that? I was really hoping to be able to do some advertising for it at the movie night that we got rained out to, as well. So hopefully, the police chief is just as sad as I am about that. I've noticed. So, does that answer everything under volunteer day? You feel okay about that? Is anybody not able to be there?
Me. Okay, we'll be there.
And you know-
that's September
27th. September 27th from 8 to 11. You do not have to be there the whole time, even if you're on the park board. You can come and go as you please. I'm going to be there the whole time just because I want to see it all and get to meet people, and that's kind of on me just in general. But please don't feel like you have to take that whole time either, unless you want to, and you're welcome to, as far as that goes. 8 to 11.
Yeah,
8 to 11. Okay. So next park project. I'm going to try to be as quick as I can too. So we know the berm is a big concern, or the NERM. Yes, I say berm. I think I bet he just fixed that to say. Actually, I put NERM. So the not berm, right? There's always concern. We actually got an email that got Matt forwarded to me from somebody locally that was asking about like what was going on with it, why are the signs up, all that kind of stuff. So
And I still send people on it.
yeah, and it's it's one of the things that we can put signs up, and who actually reads signs?
But
It's
they
hard.
don't apply to those people.
Right. So, we know, and I think the answer that Matt gave them was really just talking about the fact of our plans and trying to integrate that into whatever we decide to do with moving forward with the play structures. I don't know that, again, that we have to physically do something about it right now, like ourselves, because maintenance is, Tom's never taken care of that. And I don't know that we can make a decision about it without knowing what we're planning on doing with it earlier. I would hate to say, we want you to go take out, we're going to recommend that you go take out all the rocks on the side and then it mess up something else that needs to happen.
Well, right now, they're
With it.
cementing, mortaring those rocks together.
Yeah, I don't want them to keep falling out, people be able to pull them out.
Yes,
Um,
and crash.
Yeah, hurt themselves, hurt others, throw them places they shouldn't go, all that. So it's kind of, right now, now it just feels more like, destruction control more than anything, so, hoping that that's something, and again, like I said, I'll talk to Thomas more specifically about their plan with that. And if he feels like there's a big enough concern that we need to talk more about it, or if he feels like he has it under control. And anything else, did you all have any other concerns after having walked around the park or been in there recently, anything that you saw? Or that you feel like, hey, you know what, the next thing that we need to start talking about is this. I know, the dock and the bridge are two things that were on our list, upkeep of that, what that looked like, and
I
then.
did notice that Thomas or somebody fixed the one plank that was coming
He
loose.
was being a
The
little
bridge looks
funky.
great.
Yeah, they went in and did a lot on that, and then they were in the gazebo-y thing that was down there too.
The big shelter, or the actual like small gazebo?
The actual small gazebo, they were doing some stuff in there too. I had seen as well. But I want us to kind of have an idea about that, of what we want the next kind of thing that we're going to focus on. Because again, right, the play equipment is always kind of blaring in everybody's face, but the actual whole health of the park is our biggest concern.
So one of the other things, I talked to Thomas a little bit about
Mhm.
putting that bike workstation in,
Mhm.
and it was news to him. He didn't know anything about someone donating it.
I
That
talked
was-
to, I
well,
talked
that-
to him
But this was a
Conversation.
couple of weeks ago. I mean, this was,
after our council meeting.
it was before that. It was.
Oh, okay.
So it
Well,
has, it's been a while. But he said there would actually have been a plan from a bicycle company to donate the same thing, but he also had plans to do that and put in a bicycle rack. And he even has designs where it have the turtle on the bicycle rack. So, but that's just something we would need to discuss.
Yeah.
A bigger piece of cement, more than just to hold the bike pump.
Mhm.
But I don't know what all has to be involved with that, because that would be pouring a much larger pad.
Yeah.
And that would, I don't know, I have no idea how much cement costs for the.
Well, there's something that we could integrate that somehow into what else we're doing, right now too. So I will add that to my list of things to ask him about tomorrow. when I talk.
Yeah, but it sounded like, he had all these designs, he said they're still on the desk, of adding a bike rack. And that would just go hand in hand with that.
Yeah.
Pump, or. what do they
Repair
call it?
station.
Repair
It's a
station.
repair station.
I think it has a pump on
It
it too.
does, it probably has a manual pump.
Yeah, you push with your foot and
Yeah.
do it as well. So I'll add that to my list of things for him too. Is there anything else that anybody has seen that you think, man, this is definitely something we need to start adding to our list? The reason I say, but trying to get us to add something to our list is so I can start kind of asking those questions when I go talk to Thomas tomorrow. Like that way, if they already have a plan, then we're not trying to plan something that's already in the works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he already has all the information
Yeah.
to do this bicycle pump and possibly a bike rack. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Something I saw a lot about that we may not be able to do anything about right now is shade. So seating areas that have shade, especially with not having the NERM right now, because that's one of the bigger shade areas. And so, we can't really depend on the trees right now. But even trying to figure out what we do with that big shady area that is behind the gas station, not in right behind it, but further back in that area.
On the other side of the trees, between the trees and the house. Is that area?
Kind of, where the trees are, there's like, I think, is it horseshoe
Yes,
stuff
yes,
that's down there?
yeah.
It's not there anymore.
Yeah, the horseshoe stuff is gone?
They took it out a couple of years ago, I think.
What's down there? There's something down there.
Nothing?
I love it.
It's a principal.
No.
It's so whimsical. Oh.
I like it being a free play area, but I didn't know, can we put like something on the edges of it to provide more like seating down there? To kind of get people, because honestly, I didn't even know, the first like year or two we lived there, I didn't know that part of the park, I thought it was somebody's property, so I didn't wanna go down there.
Yeah.
There's
There's
only
like a
one
creek
road.
that runs through that, so
Mhm.
There's only
It's
one
runoff, there's like
picnic
runoff that
table.
happens there, and then
yeah.
the one that's north of it too.
I wish we could inquire about acquiring that piece of property behind Jumpstart. I don't know who owns it, but
There's been some conversation, I think we had talked about that at one meeting, too, that it was a daughter, I think, of whoever originally owned it, owns
they
it.
built the
Yeah, I think there was a conversation at one point and then it just kind of fell away. So that's something that we can, development of that space as well. That's not necessarily a Thomas question, but it's
first we have to find out who owned it.
yeah.
But you
That's easy enough.
donated it.
It's almost like we could just ask the city. Get some tax records.
Another thing that was mentioned in, August was the porta potty.
someone
Mhm.
has
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't that someone removed it, that company is gone now. So they had donated it to us, we were not paying for that porta potty. So that, the issue with that was that, no, yeah, that company is no longer, doesn't exist anymore. And they were graciously just giving it to us. So the other option to look at would be renting a porta potty, and putting it out there all the time, or trying to figure out with the development stuff that we're doing, would it make sense to put like a composting toilet out there, but that does come with a lot of maintenance. So there's a lot of like other things, which is actually something that was on my list of next things to talk about, is restrooms or access to some kind of restroom structure. When I talked to Matt about it before the last meeting, so I talked to him in August, he had some ideas of some stuff that he had seen in some other parks and stuff. I've looked at some other parks that we have, and it's really hard for me though, because I'm a huge, horrible restroom germaphobe, so I
They're
couldn't
all
use a porta
nasty.
potty if I wanted to. That freaks me out. I will walk 5 miles the other direction to use a clean restroom. So that's hard for me. I'm like, man. But there are some things that we can actually just build a structure that a porta potty could go into, so that it can't get tipped over and stuff like that, because that was always my concern, is vandalism, right? Or the wind, for that matter, like just the coming and taking you over. So there are some structures like that we can do, but again, there's going to be costs associated with that as well.
Go buy a Coke at the gas station and use it.
well, I think I'd rather use the pool.
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, really?
Sometimes, to be
I've never
honest,
been,
yeah, I've taken
so.
my kiddos in it before.
My house is right
For
there,
sure.
so I just.
Alrighty, you can hop skip your own stuff, huh?
But,
And mine's only a couple blocks away.
I saw one when we were in Arkansas, or in Missouri, at Dogwood Canyon. Has anybody been to Dogwood Canyon down by Branson?
yeah.
It was like you said, they had a structure around a porta potty,
Mhm.
and it was handicap accessible
Yeah.
as well. And then they also had like a hand sanitizer station right outside the door.
Mhm.
It was very, very clean.
Yeah.
I had really had to go, so I was like, I was very impressed with it. I was like, so I took some photos of it if you wanna see. But it was,
Yeah, so
you have
there was
them?
a wood structure around it,
That's good.
and then they also had a light fixture in it, so you weren't sitting in the dark.
Yeah.
Or standing if you're a man.
Well, and Sunday was easy. Like, you just put some solar light out there,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
gathering
it was
info
very
and reading it later.
For a porta potty, I was impressed.
Yeah. And then the nice thing is too, that they build it where you can take the whole porta potty out to be cleaned and put it back in, so it's not like that one porta potty's there no matter what. As well as some of the stuff that I had seen, and I've worked in some places we've had composting toilets, which are fine, but those require treatment as well.
Are those like
And-
what they have in national parks?
A lot.
Which is so scary to me.
There's just a big hole in it.
Yeah,
Like an outhouse.
dark and scary.
Similar, yeah, except for it's specifically like you're treating it to make sure that it's composting itself over. So sometimes you have to get down in it and turn it. It's a whole that. Why did you have to do it?
Yeah, let's do that.
You go right ahead.
No, not on it. I'll put you on the list. You will be porta potty princess.
We got it.
So I mostly wanted to start that conversation for us to be thinking about that. So maybe the next time you can come with a couple of suggestions and things that you think that should be our kind of
Looking
on our list of
Pinterest.
things to do. Yeah. And also the other thing was any events and stuff that you think that we should do. So we're doing volunteer day, but is there anything else? Because like fair and things like that are very specific, 4th of July, that kind of stuff. But is there other alternative events that we could be doing? Like, can we do like a pancake feed breakfast or something like that? Like it's just a fun. I mean, we do that before a volunteer day. Or something that kind of goes hand in hand. So I was kind of trying to put that out there too. Like, what do we as a park board kind of want to host?
Well, we could do pumpkin
Yeah,
pancakes.
we could do. I mean, we could be like, hey, bring your pumpkin. You bring your own pumpkin. We'll bring the supplies for you to carve them or whatever in the park. So it's not really something we're having to spend a lot of money on, but it is a gathering. Because what I want it to be more about, it's like a space to come and gather again. Really remind people this is where we want. We want these big green areas because we want to do things like this in them. So specifically, want to kind of talk more about that. As well. So, like I said, put that on there so we can start coming up with those ideas.
And it might even be more towards spring because
absolutely.
it's getting
Getting
far
cold.
enough into.
If we want to do a polar plunge, I'm just kidding. Don't get in the pond. Stay out of the pond. As well.
What
So.
are some things that they already do? I know, like the movie in the park.
They usually do like an Easter egg
Yeah, there's an Easter egg.
hunt or they
The turtle race.
the turtle.
Yeah.
But those
I
are
do
more
love the
fair
idea.
things, and
Yeah.
we didn't have the fair.
I
Right.
do love the pancake feed idea. I remember doing that with my dad.
And pancakes
when I
are
was little.
easy. I mean, shoot,
Yeah.
I'd bring my girl out and do it myself as well. So be thinking about those, and then hopefully the next meeting, if you can have a few that you want to suggest in anything on those lists, then we can talk more about that. Okay. You have any staff report, Ms. Karen?
Do not?
Not really. Okay. That is all that I have.
Motion to adjourn?
I will second it.
Thank you. Perfect. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
So, Holly, I'm glad you didn't have Grayson's pictures.
I know,
Oh,
would
gosh.
have been